ladies and gentlemen, world-renowned women's leadership coach and holistic realtor, Amy Ahlers. Amy and I are here because
why?
Why are we here?
Why are we here? It's an existential question.
Why are we here? We're here because Amy found out that I was going to be within 500 miles. And
I was like an hour and a half plane ride. I'm there.
Yeah. The thing that I've been really experiencing this week, these last 2 weeks, is being out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
You all know what I mean. You wear the same thing. You wear 20% of your wardrobe 80% of the time.
Totally.
You make the same 8 things for dinner every month, every week. I figured I could find out from the Instacart would work for me because I basically order the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can just put add to cart, add all items to cart. I just did that yesterday.
Buy again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We say the same things. We think the same thoughts. Yeah. What is it? How many of our thoughts repeat?
The average person, scientists tell us, thinks about 60,000 thoughts per day. And the vast majority are the same repetitious thoughts. It's the thought that you had yesterday, one before. And then, of course, there's all this research that like a lot of those thoughts, a lot of those beliefs were developed when you were really little, like a little kid. So it's so fascinating to think, what are the habits of thought that I have? Because a belief is just a thought that you've thought over and over and over again until it solidifies in your brain as a belief. So when we're in our same patterns, which that's our brains want homeostasis, we are pattern makers, right? So it's so fascinating to go, well, what are these repetitious thoughts? What are these repetitious actions? And are they serving me? Because some of them are. Yeah. Some of them are great. Like, thank you for brushing your teeth.
That's a repetition we'd like to encourage.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, every morning when I wake up and do my little prayer and meditation work, and I try to do it before I even roll over, right? I try to do it while I'm still half asleep. And sometimes I just write the rest of it's the same too. Sometimes I surprise myself and it's different, but there are some repetitions that are really soul nurturing.
Can we just have a moment? Sam Bennett. This is why she's one of my besties in the entire world. This is how she starts her day, y'all. I'm like, oh my gosh, my alarm went off. Evie's in bed with me, my 9-year-old, trying to get her ready for school. That's how I start my day. And then I do go back. Once I get the kids off to school, then I do my meditation practice. But I just love that you start your day that way. Let's keep that habit.
I have to say, I have to.
Yeah.
When I don't, everything just goes sideways.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right?
Yeah.
All this travel through the last 2 weeks is how uncomfortable it is. Mm-hmm. To not be in my familiar space, to not have Luke and the kitties by me. Amy and I were just talking this morning. I was saying that one of the things I sort of miss about the modern world is all the little conversations that we used to have all the time that we don't have anymore. Mm-hmm. We used to ride the city bus in Chicago, on the 22 Clark Street bus. You'd sit next to someone and maybe chat for a second. Mm-hmm. Nothing big. We're not going to become lifelong friends, but just like, wow, sure is rainy. Sure is. Oh, they're turning that Walgreens into a coffee shop. That's it. Whatever.
Right.
In the dentist's office, in line, standing in line somewhere, you would just have these little interactions, and we don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Now we've got 1 second, and we're like, phone, must check phone, must be on phone, can't look up, must be on phone. Yep. And I miss those little interactions. On the other hand, y'all, I really challenged myself.
She really did.
This particular conference that I've just been at, not the Jack Canfield one, the other one. Yeah. They would not necessarily characterize themselves as highly creative people. They're not artists. Mm-hmm. They're not huggers. They're not necessarily spiritual people. I mean, maybe they are, but this conference is not about that. Yeah. And the last time I was at this event, I was like, these are not really my people.
Right.
Like, I don't think this is going to work for me. Yep. Maybe I should quit. Yep. And then I sort of decided to stay. I was going to say I got talked into staying, but I decided to stay. Mm-hmm. I made a conscious decision to stay. So this time I was like, I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to be the person that other people think I am and introduce myself. Mm-hmm. And the first people I saw at this conference, I did not know them. And I went, hi, I'm Sam. And they sort of went, oh, hi, hi. Where are you from? London. Oh, my partner's from London. You guys, every conversational ball I threw them, they just dropped. And then we got to
Don't they know the rules of improv? Yes, and right? People, come on.
Engage back with me. Act like you like me a little bit. Yeah. We got to the lobby bar in the hotel, and they said, oh, we're supposed to meet someone at 6:30, but it's only 6:10. And I said, oh, me too. I am also meeting someone at 6:30, and it's only 6:10. And they said, uh-huh. And then they went and took a table for 2 in the corner. I was like, yeah. Okay. I'll just stand here by myself. And they didn't mean anything by it. And for all I know, they just got off a plane from London. I mean,
exactly.
You never know. But my little 7th grade self was like, I don't belong here. Yeah. And us Pisces, us 4s, us INFJ is like, you give me a second to feel like I don't belong and I will go for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I went out to the patio and I watched a few TikTok kitten rescue videos to restore my soul. And then went back in and did it again and ended up making, I think, at least one lifelong friend.
That's so great.
Right?
Yeah.
But I had to like live through this really, not uncomfortable, like I have to walk 10 miles to get water, but uncomfortable, spiritually uncomfortable, psychically uncomfortable moment. Mm-hmm. So my question for you is, where are you willing to get uncomfortable? Mm. Where are you willing to eat something new, drive a different way to work, book yourself on a vacation to Crete, take a big plunge, say hi to someone you don't know, try something different with the full knowledge that it is going to not feel great.
Yeah.
That there will be a lot of self-doubt and self-questioning, but this is how we grow.
Yes.
And all that, when people describe you as a strong person, or they're like, oh, you're such a strong woman. And you're thinking, really? Because I feel like I'm made of marshmallows.
Right.
We were made of marshmallows. Very fluffy ropes. But then you think, well, how do you build strength? Resistance. Mm-hmm. Lifting heavy things.
Right.
And so if you want to build spiritual strength, if you want to build financial strength, if you want to build relational strength, you're going to have to push against something. Mm-hmm. And that something is you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah, I think that we talk about growth is outside our comfort zone. And I also like to say that our comfort zones are just the familiar zones. It's like, this is familiar to me. Mm-hmm. I know how this works. That thought is familiar to me. This belief is familiar to me. Going to work this way is familiar to me. Wearing my watch on this side and this side is familiar to me. And it's like when we shake it up, when we create a pattern interrupt, when we interrupt the pattern, the homeostasis in our brains, that's where the new things can occur. And so this is why I hopped on a plane and flew down here to be with Sam, because I was like, okay, I need to get outside of my familiar. I need to get outside of my routine right now. Have a pattern interrupt, and then we're going to get to spend the day together. And our dear friend Andrea is going to be joining us, which is amazing.
I mean, another amazing coach. If you're not listening to Andrea's podcast, you should. Yeah. Andrea Owen.
Yes, Andrea Owen. And she's incredible. And so the three of us, we've been meeting virtually for years and years and years. And we've seen each other in person one time. So this will be the second time that we're actually the three of us together.
Like 10 years we've been friends and we've met once.
I mean, it's crazy because she lives, over in North Carolina. So it's just so amazing to then come out. And what I know is I'm going to access different information when I'm here in person, in a different place, in this beautiful hotel with my bestie, Sam, getting to be with Andrea Owen. And I'm going to be able to access new information and consciously create new patterns. Because that's the key. We are either in reaction mode or we're in creation mode. So Sam and I are inviting you to go into creation mode. What do you want to create? And I get that we're not in charge of the whole enchilada. I understand. We're really co-creating with the divine, with life, co-creating with life. But let's be an active participant and get out of that sleepwalking, familiar comfort zone land and get into new information by creating a pattern interrupt. So create a pattern interrupt today. Yeah.
I love this. Pamela says, I'm a classically trained singer and I participated in some jam sessions, totally out of my wheelhouse.
Yes.
Love it.
Love that.
And this 3 is the new one. Amen. 3 is the new one. Trinity power. Girl Trinity power.
Yes.
Not that same old Trinity. Different Trinity.
Yes.
And especially, Pamela, I'm giving you double props for this because when we are an expert, we have some expertise in some area and we think like, I got this, to be willing to say, oh, I'm going to take the same area of expertise and push myself into an area that I don't know, in which I do not feel like I have competence, in which I do not feel like, that's really brave.
I just did this last year when I made the decision to get my real estate license and become what I'm calling a holistic realtor, because being a coach for 2 decades, what I'm really doing is just coaching people through real estate transactions, right? It's the same thing. We're just dealing with human beings. And yes, I'm a women's leadership coach and I speak and all of that. And now I'm also coaching people through real estate transactions. And it was so humbling to study for that real estate exam. I thought that real estate exam, I was like, anybody can pass that real estate exam. No, they can't. And let me tell you why. It's actually only a 60% pass rate, which is really low.
That's really low.
It's really, really low. I was very fortunate that I passed on the first round, but I thought I was failing when I was taking it and I was sweating bullets, y'all. I'm really proud of myself for being like, here I am. I'm going to be 50 this year and I'm learning this whole new field. It's stepping hugely outside my comfort zone, all of the contracts and the disclosures and all the legal stuff, not, what I've been in as a coach for all these years. So it was really humbling. And talk about the agitation. I was so uncomfortable. My husband tells the story of I was taking a practice exam. I was in my office taking a practice exam and he interrupted me. And I gave him the death stare and was like, I'm taking a practice. It's timed. And he's like, sorry. That's that poor Rob. And I came out. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I was so awful to you. And he's like, you were really stressed. I'm like, because I was failing. I was failing all these practice exams. It was very humbling.
Very. And, Julie's talking about how she, had the balls, sort of the ovaries to call and interrupt a client.
Yes.
And getting over that fear of I'm going to get yelled at. Somebody's not going to be happy with me.
Yeah.
And Claire's mentioning Monk. Can we just have a moment for Monk?
Yes.
So he's at a carnival and he says he's out of his comfort zone. His nurse asks him if he has a comfort zone, and it turns out he doesn't.
Oh my God. And we have Isabella, who at 56 years old is starting to take burlesque in September.
Yes.
Shake
it. I think that's really what we're saying is shake it in a new way.
Yes. I love it.
Shake it in a new way.
I love it.
Take yourself mentally to somewhere that's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Claire's asking where we are. We're in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
Beautiful Carlsbad, California.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I want you to apply to join us in Crete. Even because there's a little box that you can check that says, I'm just dreaming. I'm not really coming. Yeah. This is just a fantasy. Because there's some questions that you might find really interesting to answer.
Well, I'll guarantee that you'll find them interesting to answer. I feel like I can give 100% money back guarantee. Because, I just think the questions that we put in there, and Sam has created especially these two questions that I just think that will be your pattern interrupt. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Applying for Crete at barefootperfect.com will be a pattern interrupt for your brain to think differently about you, think differently about your accomplishments, your wins, think differently about your challenges. And again, let me say this again, think differently about you and who you are and how you show up in the world.
We just get so stuck in this, our self-beliefs about I'm not that successful, or I'm not that good with money, or that's not for me, or I'm too old, or I'm too fat, or I'm too weird, or I'm too dreamy, or I'm too this or that or the other thing.
Yeah.
And it's only as true as you think it is. And you have an opportunity right now to just do it differently.
Yeah.
Embrace that feeling of discomfort, to understand that voice in your head that's going, oh, no, we can't do that. No, stop right now. Yeah. Right. That voice is just trying to protect little you.
Yes.
To say thank you. Thank you. I hear you. We're going to do it anyway, but I'll hold your hand. That pit of the stomach feeling. I know whenever I get that slightly nauseated, like the bottom has dropped out of my stomach, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I feel awful.
Yes.
But this is going to be good.
I know.
This is something big is happening.
I know it's always annoying as a coach, when my clients come to me, and I know you have this experience too, and I call it an inner mean girl attack, right? That mean girl inside your head that's just giving you grief, and they're under attack. And I'm like, oh, how wonderful. What are you doing differently? And it's so annoying. It's really, I'm really uncomfortable over here. And Sam and I are celebrating. Yes. Because it means something different's going to happen. You're being different. You're doing different things. It means you're going to get different results. It means you're in the midst of that agitation that it takes to make the pearl.
Stage fright is not a sign that you should not go on stage. It's a sign that you are about to go on stage.
I said those words to my 15-and-a-half-year-old B before they did a poetry reading. And it was their first poetry reading that they had ever done. She's in the literary arts program at an art school here, a public charter art school in the Bay Area. I mean, just shaking. This was last year in 9th grade. And I told B the words. I said, Auntie Sam says, and B's like, oh. And sure enough, they got up there, they read their poem. I was so proud. And then they got off stage. And afterwards I said, how was it? And B's like, I can't wait to do it again.
Oh, see?
I was like, yes, share your work with the world. Get uncomfortable, kid. Oh, so good.
And it's an amazing poem.
It's an amazing poem.
Yeah, they did great.
Yeah.
They did great.
Yeah.
So I want to hear in the chat, what are you going to do today to be a little uncomfortable? Are you going to fill out the Barefoot Perfect application at barefootperfect.com? Also, by the way, for those of you who who sell things or have businesses, I am as proud of that sales page as I am of anything I've ever written. Yeah, so you might want to check it out just to see how we structure the sales page. Feel free to crib.
Yeah. Use it as a template.
Yeah. Use it as a template.
Exactly. But don't actually copy and paste.
We are not pro plagiarizing. What if it came from ChatGPT?
I know, exactly. ChatGPT to take me to barefootperfect.com and write my version of that.
That's
I wonder what it would do.
I actually was asking somebody the other day, if I asked ChatGPT to write something in the style of Sam Bennett, what it would do.
Interesting.
I might have to find out.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It scares me. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole other
Isabel says, I've often thought stage fright means I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Right. The other comparison for those of you who are not performers is that we're about to have our first kiss feeling, right? Which is also kind of butterflies, pit of the stomach.
Yeah.
And it's not a sign that you should not have a first kiss. It's a sign that you are about to have a first kiss.
Oh, that's good.
Right? Yeah. Doesn't mean don't go for it.
Yeah.
So are you going to fill out the application to join us in Crete? Are you going to, and if it is right for you, then awesome. We'll have a conversation and see if it's a good fit. And if it is, great. And if it's not, no worries. It's the beautiful thing about this trip is we don't have to sell anybody at anything.
Oh, no.
It's like, we all know if it's right or if it's not.
Conversation. And if they can swing it, they're in. Yeah, it's so nice. And we're really curating the group because we're going to spend a week with y'all too. So we want to make sure that there's resonance, that we feel like we can be of service to you, that you want that amazing blend between deep relaxation. You get a beautiful spa treatment in one of the best spas in Greece. I think it actually might be the top spa in Greece, definitely in Crete. And adventure, because we take you out on 3 different excursions. Right. We're going to go and see ruins one day, which is going to be amazing. We're going to be on the water one day, which is going to be amazing. And then we're going to go into the local village and really see all of the wares that are for sale and have lunch in the village. And then we're obviously going to be doing workshops and growth. So it's like adventure, relaxation, and growth. And it's just so nice. I feel like, especially for those of us in female bodies, to have people to travel with.
Yeah.
Because it can be not for everybody, but it's like, I want to travel, but I don't want to have small talk. I don't want to go with a travel circle where we're doing small talk all day. And I don't want to go to a yoga retreat where we're doing yoga and drinking only green juice all day. No, we're going to have a wine tasting for those of you that partake in wine. We're going to have an olive oil tasting. There's always like a crew that's kind of partying. And then there's a crew that goes to bed early. And then there's a crew that's totally sober. It's such a great group of people.
It's amazing. We've been to Belize twice and it's an incredible experience.
The best
both
women.
times.
The best. Yes.
And I loved what one of our participants said when she signed up. She was like, look, if my husband can go to Formula One, and my son can go to the expensive cello summer camp, and my daughter can go to, she's like, mommy gets to go to Greece.
Yes.
She's like, that's the story there.
Yes, I love it.
And if you tell me no, I'm going to go all Thelma and Louise on everybody. So don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. So what are you going to try to get outside your comfort zone today? Are you going to just eat at a different restaurant, get it to something, order something different for lunch, make yourself something different for lunch, wear something different, walk around the house in a different pair of shoes than you normally wear. Lori says Lori has really changed her life recently. She just moved out of their home that they've been in and into a condo. Wow. Which was a big
thing to downsize.
Right.
Good for you. Good for you.
This is more than one and hoping I live through them, but you're reminding that of course I will, and I'll be better for it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Even if some of these experiments don't work out, even if the people that you try to be friendly to and make nice with are rude to you, it was another rep, right?
Yes.
I was uncomfortable.
Yes.
I did another rep.
Then you went and took care of your nervous system, watched your kitten videos, which I love.
That's right.
And then you got back out there.
And I got back out there.
It's
so good. Thank you. Yeah. So what are you going to try today? Really desperate for results.
Yes.
Like I really need to change my financial situation for reals. I really need to change my emotional state of being for reals. I need to, get some help with my mental health. I need to get some help with my physical health.
Yes.
We've talked about this before. Sometimes I think the greatest act of bravery is calling the doctor.
Yes.
Making the appointment.
Yes. Yeah. So do the thing. Whatever's making you get those butterflies right now as we say this, that's the thing we want you to do.
Yeah.
Or report back. Come back on this Facebook thing and leave a post for us, whether in the group. Feel free to email Sam. Reply there. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. And we can't wait to see your application at barefootperfect.com.
Yay! All right. Anything anybody else wants to say or share before we wrap this up? See, Claire says, my family is all 4 artist types. I learned early on to get out of my comfort zone to meet people. It's my MO. Getting out of my comfort zone has just been being quiet and alone. Oh, right. Interesting flip, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. to think about too is that sometimes being alone that's challenging for you sometimes to be alone.
Yeah. The pandemic, like the isolation of the pandemic was brutal. Yeah. I mean, I'm such a social extrovert, so I really want to be in the world around amongst the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie says, there's several Julies, by the way.
Yes.
I set a boundary last week and with the woman who's been unkind to me in the past was pretty much straight on nasty. And this helped me realize that that's just her backlash from me setting a boundary when I said no. It's a good thing. And I wasn't seeing it. Yes. And Amy, my inner mean girl, was totally activated.
Yes. Yeah. Of course it was. Setting boundaries is huge.
Huge.
Beautiful boundaries.
Yeah.
That just teach people how to love and honor and respect you. And I really get that they can be very uncomfortable and unfamiliar to say. Yeah, I get it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big fan of the phrase, that's just not going to work for me. Thank you so much. That's just not going to work for me.
I love it. No story, no explanation needed. Just no. A loving no.
A loving no.
Yes.
Bringing down the hammer of sunshine upon them. Jennifer says, you both exude joyous energy. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's kind.
You spot it, you got it, girl.
That's it.
You might have a little joyous energy yourself.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to give you one more shot of this gorgeousness out here.
Yes.
So dream yourself into some new place of being. Let's do one more breath. Veronica, Lucy, thank you so much for being here. As always,
we are thank you, Lucy.
Nothing without our team. And let's mentally go to Crete. You ready? Let's inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this with us. Mwah. We love you.
Bye.
Come to Crete. Fly. Barefoot perfect. Mwah.